Okay. Hello, everyone. So today I want to talk about something that has been kind of like the bane of my existence for quite some time. And I say the bane of my existence is because I don't really subscribe to the concept of it. And because I don't, it has caused me a lot of turmoil in my life in many different relationships. Um, the concept that I'm talking about is the concept of remorse. Um, for many people, they use the term, in my opinion, as a way to have a person feel a way about a choice that they made, um, and assign themselves a value within that. And I don't agree with it. I really, truly, and honestly, and wholeheartedly do not agree with the word, the the concept of it. Um, and I realize that people really don't really feel the way that they're projecting it onto other people or being told that they should project it onto other people. And I say that because um, I know a lot of people that have gone through various situations in life, whether it is infidelity, um, whether it is financially just not being 100% and not expressing that to a person, whether that is being mentally or emotionally um, distant or separated. Uh, there are a lot of things that garner the the concept of remorse. Um, so plug and play as you see fit. But my problem with this concept of remorse is oftentimes when people are told that they should feel remorse for something, it is to place value on themselves that is lesser than the person that feels like they are entitled to remorse. I can't recall a time where I have felt like a person has done something to me that I felt was wrong and I felt like they should feel bad about it. And I have been through many different um, situations. And I honestly don't. I don't feel like the person should feel bad about it where they should be like, oh, well, I shouldn't have done blah, blah, blah. And I know that sounds weird because I have been a person that has been violated in many different ways. I have been mistreated, misused, and I still don't feel like a person should say to me, I have remorse for what I did. Because in my mind, and this is just me accepting truth, while they were in the act of doing whatever it was that they were doing, they didn't feel bad. They truly and honestly did not feel bad. And if it wasn't for someone else telling them that they should feel bad or that they made them feel another way, the whole concept of remorse would be a nothing. So when I hear someone say, oh, they didn't show remorse for what they did, or you're expecting people to show remorse, it's kind of like it's self-feeding. You're wanting someone to give you a feeling of feeling better about something that they outwardly and wholeheartedly chose to do. I don't know why people do it. And again, I will be the outlier on this one. But I would prefer that someone say to me, I apologize that whatever I chose to do made you feel this way because you were not a thought. I would prefer that than to someone say, I truly have remorse for doing A, B, and C. You don't. You may not like the consequences of what you did. Maybe you weren't prepared for them fully, or you didn't feel like a person or a system's response to what you did equated to, whatever. Like, oh, I kicked you and you shot me. Then now I feel remorse for the fact that I kicked you. No, I kicked you for a reason that you may not agree with, but it was what I felt like I needed to do. And I'm just using that, as a whatever. But I don't feel like people truly feel remorse. I feel like it is just like when you are raising children and you teach them that they should share with other people. It's a good concept if it is in truth and that is truly what they wanted to do. I don't think that you should tell people that you should share if you truly in your heart don't feel like you want to share. Like, that is a boundary that we ultimately are crossing for people and forcing them to adhere to what we say is the best thing for them. If I hurt your feelings, or I do something that results in you feeling like I affected your self-esteem or your thoughts of me or your value system that you placed on me, the only thing that I'm responsible for is doing what I wanted to do. I am not responsible for you shifting your value system based on what I did. And I feel like we don't take enough accountability for the shift in our value system. It's your right to do that. It is your right to look at people differently and say, you were one way, but I no longer feel this way about you because of something that you did. Totally within your right. There's nothing wrong with that. But to say that because you had a shift in your value system, this other person should feel bad about what they did or become now this this martyr where they have to now make you feel better about what they did, or make you feel like now their value system needs to shift, is just not cool. I have been hurt by people before. And of course, my initial reaction, and even sometimes years later, was, man, I wish they would have thought differently about me to treat me differently. I can't recall again a time where I said they should feel bad about what they did, or they need to feel bad, they need to have remorse, they need to repent. What is there to repent for? Like, you did it. Like, it's just not, to me, it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Maybe the response wasn't warranted, or maybe it wasn't that deep and you were in a bad space. But while you were doing what you were doing, you didn't feel bad. You didn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't do this. And continue to do it. At some point, whatever it is that you were doing was overridden, and you decided that it was okay. I don't want you to apologize for that or have remorse for saying, yep, I know that this might have some really bad consequences when I'm done, but I'm going to decide to do it anyway. I don't want people to backtrack on that. And I really wish somebody would help me understand, or, at least have a conversation where they can explain to me why it is that they feel like the person that is wanting to receive the remorse is due that, other than for their own value that they placed on themselves. I don't have it all together. I don't have all the answers, but I really wish that somebody would explain this to me. Why it is that your feeling of needing someone else to have your same response to something should equate to them feeling bad about what they did. I just don't get it. And I'm okay with people disagreeing with me. I'm okay with people saying, like, I just don't understand why you don't feel like remorse is a thing. I believe that remorse occurs, but not because people truly feel bad. I feel like it is because they feel like that's something that they're supposed to do. Because if you take away the negative feeling that comes from that, from someone else's input, most people would continue to do the same thing again. It isn't until somebody else tells you that you made them feel another way that you start reconsidering what you did and say, damn, well, maybe I should feel bad for that because, I don't want to be looked at as a jerk. But the truth is, you would do it again. So, can you honestly say you feel remorse? Would you? Would you do it again? If no one was ever looking and saw and could record or take a tally of the things that they said that you did that made a situation uncomfortable, unhappy, um, just unpleasant for them. And it was all about what you wanted to do at that moment. Would you do it again? And if the answer, even if it's just to yourself, is yes, then I challenge your notion of having remorse. Again, just my thoughts. Agree, disagree. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Um, but it's definitely a conversation that I think that people should have more open and honestly, that they may not have wanted you as a person to see them a certain way or feel a certain way about them, or um, maybe even leave their life. But the reality of it is they don't feel bad about what they did. Let me know your thoughts.